Hello, my dearest friends, my beautiful souls of love and light. This is Nenari, Princess of the Sea, coming to you with a new video. Wow, so much has happened since the last video I did. We've had an interesting hurricane, some rocking and rolling here with some earthquakes, some other things happening on the other side of the globe with, I believe it was a typhoon. All sorts of amazing things happening. And for any of you who happen to listen to my meditational satsang that I did this past Tuesday here online, the link for which is below in the video description, you will come to know some of that wisdom. Related to that, I have some other videos that I'm going to be doing because I just recently got the opportunity to see Cloud Atlas. So I will share my thoughts and feelings with you about that and what that movie really means, because I've had several people who've come to me who've said, I don't get it. I don't understand what the movie is about. So can you please help me understand it? So I'm going to do a video on that probably soon as well. But this video was really calling to me because of things that I've noticed in my awareness the last few days, and also just a crescendo of things that have been occurring globally. And also because of a couple of women who have come to me who I mentor, one here locally and then the other, elsewhere in the States. So I wanted to kind of address a couple of different things. One is that I've noticed something, how my awareness has shifted and changed. And as John Lennon has said in his beautiful song Imagine, some may say that I'm a dreamer, but I know I'm not the only one. And that's kind of how I feel in doing this video. So I'm going to give a gift out to you to invite you to become one of those in that dream of Imagine, to bring this into a world of there is a world, there's a world. And what it is that I have noticed that, before we had the advent of the internet, we had relied upon mass media to bring us our news. And mass media still continues to bring us our news. And it's interesting because mass media as a whole, now there are exceptions, of course, if anyone knows of, Oprah's own network, and even when she was on mainstream media channel, she was bringing about change and enlightenment and spirituality, and she still does this now. But for the most part, our mass media is creating this sense of, chaos and fear and, murder this and, someone being hurt and, pretty much what we call the bad stuff of the world is pretty much is what is in mainstream media. And I've noticed since the advent of the internet, particularly in the last couple of years, and with this year in particular, with the shift here of 2012 and beyond here that we're in within now, is that we are now doing what it is that mass media was doing. We've been trained very well. We, as I say, as a collective consciousness, the majority of us. And basically what we're doing now is that, while mass media is still continuing to put out, things about death, destruction, hurt, pain, this one killing that one, or, whatever, outing people, who have been doing wrongs, so to speak. We're now doing the same thing as a consciousness on the internet. Daily, I see posts. I belong to something like ridiculous, like 60 some odd Facebook groups. And I see it on Facebook all the time. People posting about Illuminati this and how we need to, catch these people and, we need to, hurt them or, not hurt them, but, bring justice to them and everything else. And it quite dawned on me just recently in watching all of this unfold that are we not doing the exact same thing that mass media is now on the internet? Now, I myself And there is another group of us as well who are free from doing that. We are not broadcasting that channel. Those who want to broadcast that channel about the Enbridge this and Harper's doing that or Obama's doing that or, these people need to be brought to justice and this person being arrested and whatever, you're just doing exactly what the mass media is doing, whether you realize it consciously or not. There's a core group of us, such as myself and many others on my group or our group, it's really not my group, it's our group as a collective, and other groups who are posting messages of love, messages of solution, and not messages of solution as in an us versus them. Now, I'm all for awareness of the problem, okay? In order for us to shift into love and be love, sometimes within this field of duality, we are to know what the problem is. Okay, but again, as John Lennon says in his song Watching the Wheels, I tell them there's no problems, only solutions. And so I tend to focus on the solutions, and I'm sure many of you know this, that, if you go to my Facebook page, or those of you who are on our group, or other groups that I post on, or my Twitter, or here on YouTube, my videos are, and all that I post on Facebook and whatever are designed to show that solution, as John Lennon talks about, rather than focusing on the problem. And I see that we've been trained in indoctrinational programming because of mass media to focus on the problem. So now we have people posting about, oh, let's go protest here and, post that as a solution, or let's have the justice be done, and bring these people to justice. And, that's all good and wonderful if that's where you're at, and I honor you for where you are in your journey. What this video is designed to do here is to bring you to the next level of that, to go beyond that. Rather than posting on your Facebook wall about, posts about no Enbridge and Harper doing this or Obama doing that, or, this one doing this and doing that. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I've seen it in my own personal life, and I'm a living and being and breathing example of this. Because as I've shared on my videos here before, if you've watched any of my videos, you will well know that, with my twin soul and I, with Chris and I was coming from that indoctrinational programming. When he would lash out at me as a test, even, or when he was truly in that space of, feeling hurt and whatever, what my tendency to do was to do exactly what we've all been indoctrinated into, which is to lash back out. And, it doesn't work. Okay. So, within that, I just recently watched a video from a friend who does videos daily, and he was talking about, this justice. And so I posted a comment, actually a couple of short comments because, YouTube only allows you so many characters, onto his page, but I wanted to expand about this and go into this a little bit further to share with you. And what I wrote to him, and then I will expand upon that further, is this. I'm all for awareness so that solution can be found. That said, though, isn't this whole thing of outing people, anyone for that matter, and demanding that justice somehow be done, isn't that archaic? And nothing more than what those people you are accusing of doing the injustice are doing to us as a whole. Are we not simply doing to them what they have done to us? Eye for an eye makes all go blind. I find the solution to be love rather than outing or shaming or justice. And to expand upon that, I want to read this, and I posted part of this onto his YouTube page as well as a comment, but I'm going to read the whole thing here in its entirety because I feel it's very important. It's several small little excerpts. And what this is some things that I found on the internet, one of which being from Peace Pilgrim and another being from an African poet. And it says this, and this is what I feel we are really to be. and to be a living being example of this. And this is how I've done so in my own life, which I've shared on my videos here before about what I have done with Chris and, our journey together as twin souls. He has been my greatest test for this from an earthly perspective. So this is what this says. It says, when a woman of the Ubuntu, I guess that's how you say it, Ubuntu, it's a Ubuntu tribe, African tribe, knows she's pregnant, she goes to the jungle with the other women, and together they pray and meditate until you get to the song of the child. When a child is born, the community gets together, they sing the child's song. When the child begins his education, people get together and sing his song. When they become an adult, they get together again and sing it. When it comes to your wedding, the person hears his song. Finally, when their soul is going from this world, family and friends are approaching, and like his birth, sing their song to accompany on the journey. In the Ubuntu tribe, there is another occasion when men sing the song. If at some point the person commits a crime or aberrant social act, they take him to the center of town, and the people of community form a circle around him or her. They sing your song. The tribe recognizes the correction for antisocial behavior is not punishment, but is love and the memory of his true identity. When we recognize our own soul song, we have no desire or need to hurt anyone. Your friends know your song and sing it to you when you forget it. Those who love you cannot be fooled by mistakes you have committed or dark images you show to others. They remember your beauty as you feel ugly. They remember your beauty, your total when you're broke, your innocence when you feel guilty, and your purpose when you're confused. And that was by a Toba Fanem, I believe that's how you pronounce it, an African poet. And then there was this by Peace Pilgrim, which is very similar. In the Bamembe, I guess that's how you say it, Bamembe tribe of South Africa, has a social structure with an elementary criminal code. Their close community makes harshness unnecessary. A visitor was deeply impressed by the tribe's handling of antisocial, delinquent behaviors, which are exceedingly infrequent. When a person acts irresponsibly or unjustly, he or she is placed in the center of the village, alone, unfettered. One at a time, each person tells all the good things the one in the center ever did in his or her lifetime. Every incident, every experience that can be recalled with any detail and accuracy is recounted. All positive attributes, good deeds, strengths, kindnesses are recited carefully and at length. No one is permitted to fabricate, exaggerate, or be facetious about accomplishments or positive aspects of the accused person. The tribal ceremony often lasts several days, not ceasing until everyone is drained of every positive comment that can be mustered. At the end, the tribal circle is broken, a joyous celebration takes place, and the person is symbolically and literally welcomed back into the tribe. Necessity for such ceremonies is rare. And this is by Peace Pilgrim. Is that not who we are meant to be? So that is why I called this video The Lie, because I will share a story about that. A few days ago, we had an emergency gathering for our most recent events that have happened here. An emergency meaning the emergence of what is emerging through us in co-creation. And it had to do with our most recent earthquakes here, and also with Hurricane Sandy coming, as this was the evening before it made landfall. And when we were together in this group, there was a few of us left over at the end of the evening, and we were all talking, and we were talking about just exactly what I just wrote. Because a gentleman who was there, who I mentor, mentioned this about the South African tribes. And so out of my mouth, it just came flowing through me in a channel, just pouring through. And I didn't realize it when I said, we were talking about Harper, our prime minister here. And we were talking about, things, and we said, well, why don't we just put him in the middle of the circle like this tribe? And rather than, be yelling at him and putting him down and everything else, why not we give him love? And so when I said that, and this other woman who was there had said that, I said, yeah, it could be a love intention experiment. And then it had dawned on me, and Source was giving me, oh, the acronym for that is LIE, L-I-E. Not the lie you're thinking of, perhaps, but LIE, love intention experiment. And I just sat there and I had blurted it out, and the two who were standing there with me were like, wow, how awesome, right? So I put a post on my Facebook wall about this. And so I call it the lie, or the love intention experiment. What if instead we give Obama, let's place him, I mean, let's face it, Obama, Harper, we're not going to be able to physically gather them, but why not hold them energetically in a circle of love right here, right now, and do exactly what these tribes have done? There's also a video that I'm posting in the video description here that I posted as well, which is loving sayings. Things like you're amazing, you are awesome, you can do anything you want to do. Can you imagine if we had brought each of us into the world that way? Because only through consistent loving like that will it shift. And it's something that I've learned in my own life because of living it and being it continuously with my beloved twin soul, Chris. And it's interesting because the woman who I mentor yesterday came to me with something, and she actually sent me a letter, an email letter, and said, is this not Chris and you? And I saw this, I thought of you and Chris immediately. And it says this, and I'm not sure where she got it from, but it was probably from some book or a quote she had seen on internet or something. But it says this: a person who is happy within themselves will never have to retort. They can take rejection, blow-ups, fuck-ups, and all the fury of hell from their twin flame, say twin soul, and not blink. And unless the twin soul is absolutely torn to pieces by their personal experiences, this is usually enough to keep them together, and the hurting twin will be able to heal themselves with the help of the whole one. And I thought that to be very true, not only for the twin soul journey, but also for all of us. Because I found that what was occurring for me within my relationship with Chris is that because I was being torn to pieces by my personal experiences and allowing my buttons to be pushed by him, that I wasn't standing in being his princess, truly. I am his princess. It's just, it was a matter of shifting that focus and being consistent and coming from my truest, deepest heart in really and truly loving him, even in those moments when he would lash out at me. And that's exactly what I also saw this morning, that Leora, who happens to also do twin flame, twin soul messages and whatnot as well. Her website is twinflame1111.com, and she has wonderful wisdom, just like myself and others who are out there sharing the wisdom of twin souls. And the question that I was reading about that she had posted on her page was how and why do twin flames magnetize each other, twin souls magnetize each other? And just to read briefly from this, it says if one or both are able to maintain a balanced, non reactive vibration of unconditional love and acceptance throughout the emotional, etheric, physical, spiritual, and mental bodies of the self, the twin flames will vibrationally magnetize to each other via divine orchestrated synchronicities. In this consciousness, both will then be able to sustain a lasting physical union without any sabotaging egoic reactions, reflecting the inner balance of unconditional love and acceptance. And this is what the one soul is. That's why Chris and I, almost 5 years ago now, I guess, 4.5 years ago, created our One Soul Relationships page on Facebook, which is what actually got us onto Facebook to begin with. We were going to do a retreat here, and he was already on Facebook. I was not. And so we set up this page as a One Soul Relationships page before Facebook changed their requirements to say that you had to have, your own personal page and then have, a fan page or whatever. But that's the whole point of the One Soul Relationship, is to come into that place of that total unconditional love and standing in that presence. And so I had a woman who I mentor locally who came to me this morning, and she was speaking about her twin soul, and she was asking me, you know, uh, is it, right to be obsessed about your twin soul? And I explained to her it's not about being obsessed. It's when you come to really understand the dynamics of what twin soul relationships are and how it's about being unconditional love, and it's your heart and your soul really calling you to this love and to being in union and reunion together again and again, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, in all ways. Then you can see it's not an obsession at all. It's simply the call to love, for love, and with love. And so she had written a comment back saying she wished that he would just marry her already. What's taking so long? And she had put an LOL. And I had written back that I could relate, that I felt the same way with my situation. And, then she had written back and said how he comes to her, her twin soul comes to her and says, stuff, spews, she said shit, spewing this, quote unquote, earthly negativity. And, he doesn't think that, he can hear, that she could hear him, but she does. And yet, at the same moment, she wrote, I also hear his heart. And when he speaks from his heart, but then he goes and he freaks out again. And so my response to her was, I know that very well too, because Chris and I have been through such. What I can tell you is that what I've learned from an earthly perspective, or soulfully remembered, as we say spiritually, is that when he comes to you with such stuff and says such, indeed hear his heart rather than hearing the stuff being spewed out, just as I hear Chris's heart. And respond from your heart in kind and love rather than spewing that stuff back to him. Because I did that. And it's again, like I said earlier in this video, it's an eye for an eye. It makes you both go blind. It makes all go blind. It is a call for love when he is doing that. And all he wants to do, and I will say this to you, Divine Feminine especially, please listen and hear me when I say this to you. All that the Divine Masculine, all that a man ever desires is to be loved, honored, and appreciated for who he is and what he gives in his gifts to you and the world. Nothing pleases a man more than to feel appreciated and loved and honored and respected when he gives you his gifts from his heart. I had that happen last evening. Chris reworked the new song, that version of I Receive. And when he came to me with the song, I fully appreciated it in reverence and love and honor and respect for him and his gifts. And I know he loves me all the more for it. Now, all of us, divine feminine and divine masculine, that's all we really ever want, is to be loved, honored, and appreciated for the gifts that we give. So it's not just the divine masculine. All of us desire that. Yes, there is the love from within, and you are to love yourself within first, and then pour that out from within out, always. The balance of that is that when we pour that love out, our fondest desire is to have this mirrored back to us, and the universe does mirror it back to us infinitely through infinite people. That's who we are really meant to be. And to be that consistently is how you move forward and bring the one you love to you, divine feminine or divine masculine, and all people in life. That's the source of what this is all about, in being love. And she wrote back, do you recommend him coming to me? Because I can come on really strong with my love. And there's something that I've really come to understand in this journey with Chris. And I wrote this to her in response. I have come to understand that it is not the strength of our love that scares the man that we love. It is actually our other side of being destructive when they trust us and love us deeply that scares them. In other words, to mean, when we are strong in our love, and then all of a sudden, if they act a fool and lash out at us and say stuff to us, that instead of coming back and being loving from our heart, truly deeply from our heart, we instead get locked into the lashing out with them and lash back out at them in an attempt to bring the mirror back to them. Just like, we want to bring these people to justice, supposedly. What I have found is that freaks the man out and makes them want to run away. That's what the runner dynamic in the twin soul relationship is all about. I've come to understand since I did that video, I've had a new realization, looking real eyes, a realization, and understanding it's not our deep love that has them run in fear. It's one of two things. It's either those indoctrinational programmings of past relationships and other deep hurts from other lives that has them run because they're afraid of being hurt by you the same way, or you have already hurt them. You've already hurt the man you love by lashing out, by drawing them close to you, by being loving, and then automatically responding in your automatic programming of lashing out when they lash out at you. Instead, the solution is have the man you love come to you, or the woman that you love come to you. And then no matter what, whether they're lashing out at you, screaming, shouting at you, love them anyway. Just like Mother Teresa said. Mother Teresa has a quote out there, and I don't remember it all, but I'm going to paraphrase it. And it says something about, people can be, rude and ridiculously crazy in the sense of lashing out at you and whatever. But she says, forgive them anyway, love them anyway. And what she really means by that is if someone's coming back at you and saying, you're this, you're that, I hate you, I can't believe you're acting this way and whatever, understand that it's a call for love. I've said this before many times in my other videos, but it bears repeating. Respond back in love from your heart rather than getting into an argument with them and standing up and saying, well, no, I'm not. Or lashing out at them and saying, well, you're this and you're that. All that does is make the man you love, the woman you love, or people in general, it makes them run away. It makes them not want to do the love and be the love that they really are. Uplifting them in love, even when someone is nasty towards you. What did Jesus say? Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek and then love. Offer a kiss. Offer a hug. Say something like, you know what? I know maybe you're having a bad day, or you're going through a rough time right now. Just know that I'm here and know that I love you. Know how amazing you are. What a beautiful soul you are. What a beautiful being you are. We can take that all the way to our politicians in the world too. Hold Obama in a center circle of love and do what the African tribe does. And here's the key. Do this consistently. That is what I've found in my own personal life with Chris. There were moments when I would be very loving and love. And then if he said something, I would go right back into my automatic programming and lash out. I've now come to a point in this year, being 2012, the shift of consciousness, pretty much for the whole entire year, I've had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 instances where I've kind of freaked out the whole year, and that's it. But consistently now, probably for about the last 5, 6 months, I've not run away, I've not lashed out, I've not said hurtful things. Anytime he comes to me and lashes out and says things, like the other day he texted me, I think it was last week, oh, so you've infiltrated one of my friends, because I ran into one of our mutual friends and she and I had a conversation. Instead of lashing back out at him, I just use one of two things. I laugh because I find it funny, not because I'm laughing at him. It's not a laughing at him. It's simply using laughter to lighten things up, to get him to not take himself so seriously or me so seriously. So I will use laughter to lighten things up, and I will also come back to him with just an answer of love. And the other day I reiterated something I've said to him several times over the last 6 or 8 months now, which is, no matter how many times you come to me and lash out at me from now on, all you're going to receive is love from me. There is no more lashing out. There is no more pushing buttons. There is no more anger. There's no more fear. There's no more running away. And when you can stand in that fearless space with your twin soul, or the man or woman that calls to your heart as a soulmate, or anyone in life, including the Obamas and the Harpers and all these people we supposedly want justice for, if we can embody and be what the South African tribes are saying in these quotes, which I will leave in the video description here, that's what's going to be the shift in consciousness. The lie, the love, intention, experiment. So I invite you to consistently be this in each moment, because I have seen that happen now. Since Hurricane Sandy has happened and the earthquakes have happened, people are reaching out. I'm going to leave the video links, or sorry, the picture links in the video description. There was a picture on Facebook that was posted this morning of a place in Hollenbrook, New Jersey, right where the heart of the hurricane hit. And it's a picture of a front gate of someone's home, or side gate perhaps of someone's home. And it's a little sign. It says, "We have power. Please feel free to charge your phone." That's the power of love. That's the gift of love. This family may be, or this person may be one of the only places right now in that area who has power. And yet they are willing to spend their money to gift you the ability to power up your cell phone so that maybe you can call someone you love and say, hey, I'm okay. I made it through the hurricane. Yeah, maybe we have a flooded house, but I'm okay. We're okay. That's such a beautiful gift. My question is, why do we need to wait until some sort of disaster happens? Why can't this sign that I'm looking at right now be out there every day? Why can we not be giving to one another in co-creation and cooperation and coming together in community and individually in our relationships, mother, father, daughter relationships, or sibling relationships, or friends, or even those we intimately have romantic relationships with? Why can we not give like that every day? There's another picture that was sent to me today as well that I posted on my Facebook wall. And it says, the world needs more of this, and I agree. And it's a picture with a little bit of a bill at the bottom. And it says this: you don't know me, but I saw that you needed some tires for your truck. And I wanted to do something nice for a stranger, because one day a stranger did the same for me. The receipt is in the envelope, and all you have to do is go by Warehouse Tire on 3rd Street and ask for Stephen Hodges, and they will put them on for you for free. All I ask is that one day you do something nice for a complete stranger. Now, to this I will add, none of us are strangers. Yeah, okay, maybe we don't all physically know one another, but we're all made of the same stuff, the same energy, the same source, the same love. And this right here, that's what it's all about. Helping one another, loving one another, supporting one another, being there for one another, and doing so and being so no matter what. Even the most heinous of us, when we act out, it's just simply a call for love. So I invite you to be the lie. Be the love intention experiment. Please join me in this and be this in every moment, rather than waiting for some disaster to happen to bring us all together. Let's all come together now, because the now is all we have. And in that, I want to say, I love you and thank you. Espava.